Caitlin Clark did not just step into the spotlight. She bent the light toward herself and changed how it moves around women's basketball forever. The moment feels cinematic, like the opening scene of a movie where the camera slowly zooms in on someone. It does not yet know how massive their impact will become. Caitlin stands calm, confident, and focused while the world around her speeds up, trying to catch up to what she already sees. This is not just about points, assists, or deep shots from the logo. This is about presence, timing, and a brand that feels alive. It starts quietly the way most revolutions do. A gym ball, the sound of sneakers cutting across the floor, and a player who looks like she belongs somewhere bigger than the moment she is standing in. Caitlin was never loud with her ambition. She let the game speak first. Long before the commercials, before the cameras, before the casual fans learned her name, she was already building something that could not be stopped. Every shot felt intentional. Every reaction felt real. People leaned in because there was something authentic happening right in front of them. Then one day everything shifted. Caitlin Clark appeared on screen next to Jake from State Farm, and suddenly the conversation changed. You know you have arrived when an insurance commercial feels like a cultural moment. She did not feel like an athlete trying to act. She felt like herself. Comfortable, relaxed, and sharp. The lines landed because they sounded natural. The pauses mattered. The small smirk told its own story. She did not try to steal the scene yet. Somehow she did. Viewers replayed the ad not because they were sold insurance, but because they were watching someone who belonged on camera. That commercial was more than a deal. It was a signal. Caitlin became the first NCAA athlete to star in a national State Farm campaign, and she did it without changing who she was. That is the part brands dream about. Authenticity you cannot teach. Presence you cannot manufacture. She handled the moment the same way she handles pressure on the court, with calm control and a sense of fun that makes people want to stay watching before the Super Bowl shine, before signature shoes, before casual fans could spell her name correctly. Caitlin was already shifting the energy. On the court, she played with freedom and fire. Off the court, she carried herself with a confidence that felt earned, not forced. When Nike tied itself to her, it was not a gamble. It was recognition. They saw what was coming. The pre-game parties, the logos, the unveiling moments all felt like pieces of a larger plan snapping into place. Her first State Farm spot went everywhere. Social platforms lit up with clips, reactions, and jokes. People who had never watched a women's basketball game suddenly knew who Caitlin Clark was. They recognized her face, her voice, her rhythm. According to campaign reports, the ad pulled in tens of millions of views and massive engagement numbers. But the numbers were only part of the story. What mattered more was how people felt watching her. She did not feel distant. She felt familiar, like your favorite hooper who just happened to be on your screen. That one ad cracked the door open, and Caitlin walked through without hesitation. Bigger opportunities followed, and she never looked overwhelmed. Nike stepped in with something historic. Their first women's basketball Super Bowl ad in decades, and they put Caitlin front and center. That decision spoke volumes. You do not hand that stage to someone unless you trust their gravity. The ad hit like a challenge and a promise at the same time. You will be told you cannot do it, so do it anyway. You cannot win, so win. The visuals were powerful. The message was clear. Caitlin shared the screen with elite athletes from different sports and did not look out of place for a second. She looked like she belonged among them because she did. Within a single day, the ad exploded across the internet, pulling in massive viewership and conversation. Analysts called it dominance. Fans called it inspiring. Brands called it proof. What makes this moment different is not just the scale, but the timing. Caitlin is doing this while still early in her professional journey. She is not waiting for permission or legacy points. She is building in real time. Analysts estimate that she drives a huge portion of the league's economic activity, from tickets to merchandise to ratings. One player moving that much energy is rare in any sport. It turns her into more than an athlete. It makes her an engine. Then came Gatorade with a campaign that felt personal. Not just a product placement, but a window into her routine. Hydration, recovery, preparation. every detail tied back to her work ethic. Fans did not just buy the bottle. They bought into the idea of following her path. Limited edition drops sold out fast. Social media filled with routines and recreations. This was not endorsement marketing. This was ecosystem building. Wilson followed with another historic step. The first female signature basketball collection. Caitlin was not a face slapped on a product. She was in the room shaping it. Colors, texture, feel. The ball reflected her style and her game. Moments like that shift the industry quietly but permanently. It mirrors the kind of turning points people talk about years later. Then Nike revealed her personal logo. 2 interlocking C's, simple and clean. Some called it basic, but that simplicity is power. It works everywhere. It scales. It sticks. Hoodies, shoes, bags all carry it effortlessly. Her full signature shoe is set for release a few years into her career, and experts already project massive sales. Numbers usually reserved for long-established stars. That kind of belief does not come from hype alone. It comes from momentum backed by results. Forbes recognized her impact, listing her among the most powerful women in sports with millions in earnings already secured. Social media growth followed fast. Hundreds of thousands of new followers in weeks. That kind of surge shows connection, not just curiosity. People are not just watching highlights. They are investing attention. When you line her up against other rising stars, the difference becomes clear. Many have talent. Some have deals. Few have this level of cultural pull this early. Caitlin is converting views into sales interest, into loyalty moments, into movement. She is not chasing the wave. She is creating it. Most athletes can play. Some can perform on camera. A rare few can sell. Caitlin Clark is doing all 3 at once without losing herself in the process. That balance is the real shock. The WNBA brands and fans are now seeing what happens when talent, timing, and vision align around one player. This story is still being written. The camera is still rolling. The question now is not whether Caitlin Clark will continue to rise. The question is how high the ceiling really is and who will be smart enough to join her next, as she keeps changing the game in ways